Okay, so I'm going to do Kim Burrell. Oh, I don't have to say what's going on here. Kim Burrell is a gospel singer, for those who do not know. She is, if I can inject some opinion, a very childish woman. She just, she has a catty energy for a person who says she's a pastor. She has a church, but she has a very catty energy. She also has a superiority complex. And she has no humbleness, if you ask me. So she is like the typical person you watch as God humbles them, because she has none on her own. And she's not trying to get any either. So I want to do a reading on her. On why is she that way? Is it money, fame and fortune type of thing? Or does she just have a past of being bitchy? Or what? Was she always made fun of as a kid, and so this is her way of kind of getting back at her enemies? Because her first thing was, she was on a show called Sunday's Best. It's like American Idol for gospel singers. And her and another gospel artist, well established, are the judges, right? They're sitting there while this young man on the stage, he paid his rent money, or used his rent money to get there for that audition, right? Like, he really, really wanted this, and he really wanted to participate. He really wanted the feedback and all these type of deals. So he's standing there, and one of the judges is critiquing him, while Kim Burrell and another judge is sitting there talking back and forth. During his critique, something he's very, that he anticipated, like he really, really wanted. He's very much into this. He really needed this. And while he's being critiqued by one judge, these two are sitting there talking and laughing. And so the young man says, excuse me, I'm paraphrasing, that they're being rude because he's trying to get feedback and they're back there talking. And she said, no, excuse me, I already made my decision before you started even singing. And so it's like, this is the kind of person she is. So now her other one was when she got in her church and called gay people perverts. And so, I mean, that's the Christian thing. So, I mean, whatever. But she got a lot of flack for that. Because the person that she was talking about, the reason this whole thing came up is because a person saw her on the street and said, Kim Burrell, yes, and you know, like that, and she didn't like that. She said she's so sick of the homosexual spirit. And then she was on stage and she fell down once in some boots, and then people laughed at her because she just did this whole I'm against the gays thing. And so naturally when they seen her fall on stage, they all laughed, and she said, you wish you could wear some $2,500 boots. This is what she said. And then at another concert where one of her heels broke, she said, I got some of y'all's house notes on my feet. And then this newest one, she's standing on stage. They're about to, I guess, do a Aretha Franklin biopic. And Leandria Johnson, who is a gospel singer, and Fantasia, who is a R&B singer, but she also sings some gospel music too. Fantasia gets the role for Aretha Franklin. And so Kim Burrell is on stage and she says, now I like Fantasia, but if they want to do this movie any kind of justice, they would have got Leandria, because Fantasia is no Leandria. And then the audience, you know, they clapped like they do. And she said, why y'all don't want to tell the truth? So she's saying Fantasia isn't as good as Leandria. So now people are really concerned with this sort of catty energy. Like, this is not a way a pastor should behave. She's more of a, you know, she's a church version of Wendy Williams. I mean, all she does is just clap back and gossip. So why is she this way? She has no humility. She doesn't have a kind and gentle spirit whatsoever. Every time I see her, I feel, for whatever reason, it's like a little anxious. Like she's going to say something to someone to offend them and then call it being real. So I just want to know, why are you this way? You don't offend me because I don't really value your opinion that way, but I just want to know what is going on. First card she get is the Knight of Cups. Idealistic person. This is also a person who is sort of drawn to, well, they are a person of charm and wit, funny. Now she is funny. She can be funny. But she, again, is claiming to be a pastor, and I think her cattiness and her disrespect gets in the way. King of Cups. Now I don't know who that is to you, but it could be, because again, we got the Knight of Cups. This is the idealistic person. The King of Cups can be a person who is overly sensitive. So maybe that's why you're getting this emotion right now, but we're going to keep going, because if you get a bunch of cup cards, then you got some hurt in your heart that you won't let go. Hurt people, as they say. Nine of Wands, uphill battle, weariness. I believe this is a past thing, because we're starting with emotions, and then we get this sort of I'm tired energy. So this is something internal, cerebral, or emotional that you're dealing with. Four of Wands. Yeah, it's personal, emotional. So this is like in the house, emotional. So family, because in the center of that card is a heart. So we have something emotional, sort of weariness, emotions, weary, home. But it's not happy home. Now, it can be in context. In this one, no. Because otherwise I would have just got the Ten of Cups. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands can be rather abrasive. I feel like that's you. Three of Pentacles. Apprenticeship. Learning as you were going along. Might have been some self-doubt, because this is again apprentice, so learning as you go along. But the reason your present card is this Knight of Pentacles is you sort of want to build your own image, like you are this wonderful, talented person. You know, even though you can sing and you are funny, you want to prove it to everybody. So there's some self-doubt as well as something in the past. So you've got a bunch going on. Two of Swords. That's your fear. Stalemate and deadlock. Indecision. Not knowing which way to go, not knowing what to do. Your hopes. The Ten of Wands. Hard work. Hard work. Because again, you're at the apprentice level, so you were hoping that it would one day pay off. In your environment, the Ace of Wands. You're getting a lot of wands. Those are action cards. This is a new action or new idea. What's in the background? Ten of Pentacles. Money. That's what drives your new action. Interesting. Your word of warning, the Hangman. If you ever end up in this position, just know you did it to yourself. Word of solace, Chariot. Triumph, self-discipline. So that is very interesting because you are sort of like on the precipice. You can go either way. You can be the hangman who is stuck and stifled, or you can be a self-disciplined person and give victory and triumph. Which one would you choose? Depends on your actions and your motivation. Because if all you care about is $2,800 shoes, this is you. If what you care about is your image, this is you. If you care about the hard work and self-discipline, then that's you. Your outcome is the Eight of Swords. Bound and trapped, powerless. If anybody does it, it is you. So, let's unwrap this. The idealistic person, the person who thinks more highly of themselves than probably they should, crossed by a person who is overly sensitive. This is you. A person who has struggled to get where they are, and their whole life is pretty much the same. To where it wasn't an awful home life or nothing like that, but it was not the easiest. The Queen of Wands, that is you. The rash woman. It's a woman of action as well, but you can be rash. The Apprentice. Around the home, so learning what you needed to learn, but I would say you didn't necessarily grasp in your apprentice level what you needed to, because this shouldn't be here. Like you didn't learn the balance part. That's your fear. Indecision. Stalemate. Deadlock. Crossroads. With sort of unknown consequence. Interesting also, your stalemate. There's an egg in this photo. Or on this card. I get it to focus. On the card there is an egg. That's your fear. Your hopes is the 10 of Wands. There's also an egg in the center. It's now broken. Hard work. Your fear, again with the precipice, not being able to move forward because you don't know what to do. And then your hopes is the hard work and self-discipline. Going forward and conquering the world. In your environment is action. Behind the scenes, money. Stability. It drives you. Now you have the Hangman. This is your word of warning. The outlook that you have currently will bind you if you let it. Self-discipline will lead to your victory and triumph. So before you go out and comment like you're on Twitter or something and you stand in front of your and that's another thing, you're in front of your congregation. Preach. Whatever you want to preach out of the Bible. Don't pluck pop culture and then plug it into your sermon and then spend 5 minutes being catty. Because this happens. This is your outcome. Powerless and bound. However, what you have to always remember about the 8 of Swords, and this one is even, see, something I guess I have to say this every time. When I used to think that I chose my decks at random, but I don't. It happens. They choose me, I guess. Or they choose the reading. Maybe I should say that. Bound and powerless. This person is not technically powerless because self-discipline can get them out of this situation. The proof of the pudding, she is holding one of the swords. Just remove the sword, then remove the next one, and the next one, and the next one. She is covering her own eyes. This 8 of Swords usually shows a person tied up. That's why I say there's no coincidence that I chose this one. This woman is bound by her own power, by her own lack of self-discipline. She has bound herself. Like I said, if anyone does it, it will be you doing it to you. Five of Swords, a loss. Page of Pentacles, news about money, and 3 of Cups is a celebration. This bound and powerless can cost you money. It already has when you said that gays were perverts. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, you did a song with a man named Frank Ocean, who is bisexual, I do believe. And so, not only that, you were supposed to perform that song on a show by the name of Ellen. So you did this sermon saying gays are perverted, and then you were going to go on Ellen's show and perform your song with a bisexual man. You did it to yourself. This is what I'm saying. You got canceled from Ellen. They pulled that song from that performance. You cost your own self. The Justice card, the world, and strength. You need balance. That's what this is saying. The Justice is balance, the world is completion, and strength is strength. You need balance. If you don't get it, you continue to tie yourself up. 5 of Pentacles is hardship. The Wheel of Fortune is a fate, turning of fate, and the 6 of Cups is where you used to be. It's a nostalgia card. So you will not only be bound and powerless, but you will be trying to figure out how to get back there once your opportunities dry up. So take all of this as a word of warning. They say karma, well, I said karma is a bitch and she knows where you live. But humility is the greatest thing that a Christian will ever have. Because it means that God will have no need to come forth and humble you. If you want all your opportunities to dry up, if you want to be bound and trapped and penniless and wishing you can go back to the days of $2,800 boots, then you keep on this path. You keep calling people names. You keep talking crap about people from your pulpit. And then you, my dear, will get a visit from the man upstairs.